I'm so excited, everyone.
I've never done like a live with someone else before, so I'm like, oh my goodness, this is awesome.
Oh, you know what though? You like do so many like little interviews, so I think this is going to be great. And I'm so happy to have you be my first one. You
I'm
know,
so
you were
excited.
one of the first pioneers, so it like made sense. So super excited. So if everyone's like wondering, like, okay, Britt, like, what are you doing here? I kind of came up with this idea because I feel like Fit Model's so new. We need more in our community. And I think it's a great opportunity to hear from like the pros talk about things and like our
Mhm.
insights going into next year because I know a lot of people are super excited about next year. So I did ask some questions, but I do want to open up this for you guys to ask questions directly here so we can answer them. So, Emily, how's it going with your off season? You've been in a long off season so far.
Yes, it's going good. It's going really, really good. I'm eating a lot. I usually do cardio too, but I kind of like been so busy with work and trying to save that I haven't really done much cardio, but it's okay because I'm like maintaining. So I'm at a really good spot where I just trying to maintain. I'm not trying to get too big, but just maintain. How's your off season going?
Good, good. Thanks for
Yeah.
asking. So, I kind of want to talk about that too, like our feedback. So, I know you were more in the beginning, so I think the feedback might have been a little different then because it kind of has evolved a little bit. I still think you had like a good amount of muscle though, so I'm sure they're like, "You look good, girl." Like I remember Sandy like loved your look. She would always be like, "Oh, and Emily." But yeah, no, it's going good. I actually do have to grow. My feedback was to come with a little bit more fullness in my legs and my shoulders. I had an injury though, so it made sense. I was like totally like, yeah, like I had really small shoulders at Universe. So it's going good. But the key word from Tyler was a little bit. So,
A little bit, yeah. That
but I
was
know we
his
talk
too. And
about natty life, right? So
yeah.
you and I are natural. So, people are like, are you going to overgrow? I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I
you
think
know?
as long as you maintain natural, it's really hard to overgrow that division. I remember once when I went to the IFBB like home headquarters, I
Mhm.
asked Tyler, I was like, what can we think or envision for next year? Like, is there something that I should work on? Like, because I'm trying to get ahead of schedule, you
Yeah.
know? And he was like, honestly, I can't tell you which direction it's going to go. Maybe just a little bit more everywhere. But right now, like, you're good for right now. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so that was good. But now as we're seeing like the division evolve, I don't think it's more muscles. Like people are saying, oh, they're getting more muscular. I don't think that. I truly think it's just more conditioning.
Yeah.
And that gives that illusion of more muscles. You know what I mean? Like that can give
Yeah.
that illusion, but I don't think it's more muscular. I just think maybe better conditioning. And I noticed too, all of these girls are have really itty bitty waist, so nice
Yes,
shape.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because I've been noticing the same thing. So anytime people, ask me about fit model, I'm like, listen, if you're switching from bikini, like because you feel like you don't have the glutes and you in your waist, you have a hard time, like it's gonna be hard because really it's small waist, pretty decent glutes, I think fit model
Yeah.
is, right? I think it's actually like less developed upper body compared to like more than anything, right? Like I feel like we're like a little smaller in the upper body, but
Yeah.
decent legs and glutes, I think.
I think
Um,
so too. And I'm like, I keep thinking like maybe we're like, I'm too nervous to grow glutes too much because I don't want to make this be like a little mini wellness either,
yeah, yeah,
because they have like not as much development in their upper body. But I think overall it's just balance from head to
yeah.
toe, like having that really nice like symmetry and really nice balance, which is when posing can really like enhance a physique. Definitely.
I agree totally because my feedback at Universe because Becky goes, oh, I think I saw that you had like bicep tendonitis. She was like, if you can like get your shoulders a little fuller to match your lower body, like in the front, she
Mhm.
goes, that would look better. But I'm like, yeah, I just had this injury for like 4 weeks. And
Yeah.
it worked out. So like that just shows like if I had an injury and my shoulders were like really minimal, like that's not what they're looking for. I really think they're looking for that whole aesthetic look. That's why I kind of use that as a term, like just a nice aesthetic look into the waistline, nice
Yeah.
full shapely legs, not skinny. That's what I'm seeing.
That's exactly what I'm seeing too. And someone asked me like about shoulders, like if they need bigger shoulders. And I think it's, it's person dependent. I would have to look at their body to kind of make that
Yeah.
assumption. But I think if someone's like lacking shape, they might need to build more muscle to create shape. So I don't think it's like necessarily they're wanting big shoulders, but they just want really nice, shape, and obviously not as much muscle as bikini. So I think your shape can play a huge role too in this division. And the way we pose is gonna, like I said, enhance that, create more of that shape.
I agree because someone, I know Vanessa, she won North Americans and overall, and everyone's like, her shoulders are huge. I'm like, she just has really wide clavicles, you guys. Like, she's got a
Mhm.
really big like taper. And I talked to her. She knows this. I told her this to her face. Like, I saw her last weekend at a show, and we took a picture together.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just literally just have like nice clavicles, and there's a
Yeah.
couple other girls that really have like that width up top.
Really up with, yeah. And it makes that illusion too of like stronger, more dominant upper body, but in reality, it's just they're naturally wider up on top.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna archive this for later. Someone just asked. Yeah, because I think it's
Yes.
just good information for people to hear from like us pros. I see a lot of pros jumping in here, and I am going to bring a bunch of people, and I would think it'd be fun to do like 3 or 4 of us at a time and just chit chat, especially as the shows start like really rolling with the pros. Like,
Yes.
so
I
what are
feel
your
like
plans?
it's going to build like a big camaraderie doing this too. Like everyone just kind of mingling with each other and rooting for one another. I'm from Tokyo.
So, like, do you
That's
have an
my
idea of your
plan.
debut? Do you have your idea of your debut, or you're not ready to share? We don't know yet.
No, no, it's not a secret. I
Okay.
definitely think Japan, but of course, like as time comes closer, if everything aligns, then, but right now my head's really in Tokyo, really in Japan. I feel like that's where I fought for that pro card, and I feel like it would just be really fun to do a rematch with Angie, and
Yes.
just doing the first one, to see really what they're looking for. And I think that's
Yeah.
gonna just be a really good stepping stone in seeing, what my feedback is and utilize that feedback for the next one. So if they tell me more this or this, then I'm going to take more time off and then, but the
Smart.
first one I think is just going to give a really good vision for what
Yeah.
the pro stage is going to look like.
Yeah. And I
So
see some girls in Asia, like, they're killing
gonna
it in the
be
pros.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I think it's going to be a great show, and it's going to
Yeah.
be the first one. So a lot of people are going to be looking at it
Yeah.
as well. So I think just being a part of that is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and then from there, decide if I'm this close, then maybe, FIBO. If I'm like this close, then take that
Yeah.
time to maybe do the Pittsburgh. So just,
Yes, because JM did say, I mean, I don't think it's, gonna be like a big secret, but I think they're hoping it's Pittsburgh,
yeah,
but I don't know. I don't want to put it out there completely, but they'll announce it when it happens. But maybe we'll see.
yeah. So
Pittsburgh, maybe.
usually someone asks if they announce a pro show. They won't announce it until after the Olympia, I think. So I think they're just
Yeah.
waiting and then that schedule will be out. But from what I heard, I don't think it's a secret. Japan is going
Yeah.
to be the first one, February 28th, cough, cough. um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I think the USA Pittsburgh might be the first one, which is
Yeah, we could just assume.
amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
It's the home of the NPCFBB. It is their biggest show for the NPCFBB for like them, and they
Mhm.
developed this. So I could just assume, I don't want to put it out there. We'll wait and see, but it's going to be mid-May, which is good. So that just means, so USA will start mid-May, and then we're going to roll into the summer, and they're going to get busier. And I'm actually going to be in the summer. I have committed
Yes.
to later. Everyone's like, when are you going to do it? But I actually do need to grow while some girls don't. So,
Yeah. And I think too, like doing just a show just to, see how much you've grown, seeing how much you
mhm.
progressed, and then looking back and be like, wow, I grew a
Yeah.
lot. And you can kind of see too, like how the division's evolving. So
Yes.
I would definitely, if I were you, do a show, and really see that progress you've made.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm looking at like July, I think. So that's just going to be like enough, like a month and a half of shows, and then I'll jump in and do mine. But I just need that time. I've heard from like a lot of the other pros, they're told just to stay the same because they don't know what next year will look like, and they don't want them to overgrow the division. I have heard a couple girls told to tame it down, don't develop any more of like the shoulders, and not to develop too much in the abs, because then it's just putting them over that edge. So I have heard that
Yeah.
too.
No,
And
absolutely.
and I've heard from some of the judges I've spoken to, they said the same things. They're like, they really want to make sure they're reeling this in and keeping it different from bikini. And I don't know, like, if you follow a lot of bikini girls, but I do. And I've kind of noticed some of them getting a little bit smaller, and I'm kind of liking it. Like, Amy looks, like she's not as big, but I like the look. I think she looks good. Delgado, Amy
But
Delgado.
so I had a conversation with this the other day with someone, and she was like, these bikini pros are so big. And then I'm like, well, you have to get, I think, bigger to show more shape. So like the really good ones, I think like, the top three, like Amy, Jazzy,
Yeah.
like, yes, they look great, but they don't have as much muscle. Like, I
Yes.
mean, they have a lot of muscle, don't get me wrong, compared to Fit Model. But
Yes.
because they have tiny waists, they have a
Hmm.
beautiful shape, they have that advantage. So girls need to build more to create more shape. You know what I mean? Like,
I
so
agree.
yeah,
I agree 100% because Alice Roca, I'll probably say
yeah.
her name wrong. Girl, if you're watching this, you better tell me. She lives in my area, but I love her. I
Okay.
see her all the time. But she is not that big. But she has this beautiful look, and she's placing top like 3, 2. Like, she literally just got third and then second. And she's not huge. I mean, I literally took pictures next to her, and I'm like, oh, she's like not even that much bigger. You know what I mean? Like, huge
Hmm.
difference. And same with Laura Lee. I took a picture next to her, and I was like, girl, look at your delts. I'm like, oh, they came back. But like, I'm like, yeah, I'm really not that like, okay, Laura Lee's
Yeah,
glutes now, like, let's be real. But
yeah.
she's not too big. And I told her that. I saw her and I said,
Yeah.
girl,
It's
I
because they
like your
have
look.
beautiful shape. So you need more
Yeah.
muscle to create that sometimes,
And I think for fit models, same thing. So kind of getting into that, like you're literally saying the same thing, because if you don't have like that width at top, then your waist might not narrow in because you don't have that width, but you got to be careful of the delts. So you might want to build out your back. What do you think?
100%. I remember when they first announced this division, there was like a thing on Reddit of like, I guess girls aren't gonna do back anymore, like lats. And
I
I was like,
saw that.
no, no.
Hmm.
And I even replied, I said, lats are like, is what gonna create shape. If anything, do more lats and less shoulders, because
Yes,
lats create that shape. So I was like, no, we still need to train. We still need to go intense. And I think too, like remaining and being natural is going to be an advantage in this division, because
I agree.
I truly think that you're not going to get that hardness, you're not going to
Yeah,
overgrow it. So yeah, that's what I
I
truly believe.
agree. How often do you train back, by the way? Because I saw your back workout.
I love training back. Um, maybe like once a week or 2 times a
Okay,
week.
very well.
So
Yeah.
not too much. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I
So
do glutes about like 2, 3 times a
yeah.
week. Yeah.
I do. So I was doing back 2 times a week, but then I had that rotator cuff overuse, so I had to pull back. So I'm only at
Mm.
1 time a week. But I feel like I have decent lats, and that's why you have that shape, right? It's just that shoulder. I don't have the delt like rot. Well, I didn't have the delt rottiness. It came back, came back
Yeah.
after this situation. But I feel like I have decent lats. But of course, I want a better taper in the back, right? So like, and if
Yeah.
you have a narrow waist, and I feel like my weakness is my back pose. I feel like if I have a little bit more hamstring and a little bit more upper glute, I would be like, I have a better like shape. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm going for right now. I've definitely grown the upper glute, been seeing it. I've been
Me
killing it.
too. Me too. I'm trying with that upper glue, like creating that boom, that top
Yeah.
shelf. Yeah.
Cause some girls just have it. Like the girl that you went against at your pro qualifier that you won the
Yeah.
overall. But she has really good upper glutes because I went against her the weekend prior.
Did you? Yeah.
In the overall, and I'm like, oh, I was like, man, she's got a good full upper glute.
Yes. These glutes, they're no joke.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're like, listen, if you think you're gonna switch to fit model because the glute situation, but I'm telling you, you got to still have some decent glutes and
Yeah.
legs, and legs,
Oh yeah, definitely.
and like I said, Tyler likes full legs,
Yeah, the fullness to it. And
and you
I
have
would
full legs.
Yeah, I actually don't train quads ever. I should.
Okay.
Or hamstrings. I focus mainly on glutes because it's an illusion what we
Yeah.
bring on stage. So I want to appear like that roundness to the glutes. So
Yeah.
the bigger the glutes and the smaller the everything else, so they're gonna appear more bigger. It's
Yeah.
an illusion. So I don't really train hamstrings and quads. Like I don't have specific things,
Oh,
to
okay. That's
train.
interesting.
But
Yeah.
I'll focus, like, if you ever see like my glute workout, it's mainly just glutes, like
Yeah.
legs. And then, of course, your hamstrings will play in a little bit, but my main focus is glutes because if
I
those
can see
appear
that.
bigger, yeah, like
I can
an
see that because I
illusion.
do feel like you already have that, like, so what I see a problem with like any competitor bikini or fit model, if you don't have, like, if you have like pretty strong like legs and then the glutes kind of fill in with it, then you
Yeah.
don't have that separation. So you almost
Mhm.
need to overgrow those glutes to catch up to your legs. You got great legs,
Yes.
you got that muscle already. And this is something like I see a lot of beginners are listening, and thank you guys so much for the saying we're both inspirations. We do appreciate it. But this is important for you guys to know. Everyone should train differently based upon where they are in their journey. Because if you look at like Laura Lee, who's Miss Bikini Olympia, she's like isolated movements, right? She's just fine
Yes.
tuning. Emily's just focusing on those glutes because that's where she probably just needs, right? Like she's already got the legs. Me, on the other hand, they want more quad, more hamstring.
Yeah. No,
Don't follow my
absolutely.
training. You guys.
Yes. Yeah. It's all person dependent, what their feedback is.
Yeah.
I had someone be like, how do I know if I'm fit model or bikini? I'm like, just do it. Just
Yeah.
do it. So,
Yeah.
ask the
They'll tell
judges.
you.
Yeah, they will. They'll tell you if you need to grow or maybe you're too developed and should do bikini.
Hmm.
Um, so what
Yeah.
are your thoughts? Well, I have a question. I
Yeah.
actually recently had a discussion with this about someone. Someone who turns pro in fit model, do you need to turn pro again? Or like
To
for
do what?
bikini?
To bikini? I don't know. I think you can transition. I
That's
would
what I
like to
thought.
I would like clarification. They say no crossovers at the same show for fit model bikini, probably to make sure it is different. But I would be curious, like what they are saying about the IFBB pros. But I think it's just going to be fine because already you can transition to either any division you want. You could go
Yeah,
from
so that's what I thought. Because someone was like, you have to re-qualify. I'm like, no, I
no,
don't. And they're like, you
yeah,
do. And we had a $10 bet on this.
yeah. No, I
So
think you can
Leo,
just
if
move
you're
around.
watching, and he was like, no, I swear. And I was like, I don't think so. I think once you're pro, you're pro. If I
Yeah.
wanted to, I could do bikini, but I'm not going to do well. I don't have nearly as much muscle,
Yeah.
so.
I wouldn't even want to. I'd be like super smoked. They'd be like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah, I think they would just put me last just to make a point. Like, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
And then
Um,
like with the because I've asked the judges about the pro switching from bikini to fit model, and they said they're gonna have to seriously downsize because there is a big difference. And
mm,
I've seen a couple pros post stuff on their stories. They're like, ask the judges should they switch to fit model, and they said no, you just need to get more conditioned for bikini. You have the muscle,
yeah.
and that's the other thing, like the same like judge I was just talking to the other day, he was like bikini, you really don't need to get that big. It comes down to the shape and conditioning. And he's like,
Mhm.
he was talking about PEDs because I said a lot of girls are switching to fit model because they don't want to take all the PEDs. He's like, but they don't need to. He's like, they just need to come in conditioned enough. Most of the time, that is the problem.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of good to hear that. He's like, we're not looking for that size. It's shape. It's always shape, no matter what division you're in. At the
Mhm.
end of the day, every single category is about shape. Every single
Mhm.
category,
Yep.
it is shape at the end of the day. Like you could like put everybody in the shadows, right? And who has the best silhouette, right? Like
Who has
fit
this?
model's got this clear silhouette. And if you don't have it, and that's why, we were talking about posing is so important. If you're standing
Yes.
sideways, like I posted today, Becky reposted it. Thank you, Becky, for
But I
listening.
think I think too, like I've seen that with a lot of girls who are coming from bikini
Yeah.
to fit model. That's where I see that posing, that sideways posing,
Yeah.
because they're trying to show glute and shoulders. But I'm like, no, we're trying to.
And
It's a
small
different
waist.
division, so we're trying to
Yeah.
show a more of a silhouette in the forward facing, you know,
Yeah,
pose.
and it's not so much glute in the front because I know Emily, you talk about that, and you really don't like you. I asked you that, like when you went pro, I messaged you, I was like, "Girl, are they looking for the glute in the front?" You're like, "Not really, maybe a little bit, not really."
Yeah.
And I've seen that, like the girls at Universe that went pro next to me, like the overall for 35, 40 and open, both didn't have glute in the front shot. So y'all
Mm-mm.
don't worry
The way
about
I
it.
see it is once I turn around, that's the element of surprise. Like, bang, she got the glute, you know?
I like to keep it open. Like I do put it in the front, but like
Yeah.
it just works. And my physique looks better that way. Like I put myself in all those positions that I just don't look good with my leg way out to the side, over twisting. I have
Yeah.
obliques, so I look wide in my waist. Like you've got to play with what's best for you. But ideally, I think they want you forward face, like pretty straight on.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
the first three shows I did were more sideways,
I
and I was like,
remember.
okay, something needs to change because even though I was doing decently, I was like,
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel right, and I got a lot of guidance, and I was like, all right, let me just do more of a forward facing, and then that was like okay, so now
Yeah. And it
we're
looks
doing more forward
good.
facing, and yeah, my Jay Cutler show was my favorite show, I think, even to this
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got really my posing on that show and was like, I'm like, this is it. I found my pose. And sometimes it's like we need to go through it and make those
Yes.
mistakes to really see, okay, I don't want to do that again. And then really fix
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I've changed it. I tell everyone I do posing with them, like I've done 4 front poses. Okay. I did
Yeah.
2 in 1 weekend because I was not conditioned enough because this was May. Okay. We're like
Mhm.
going for the soft look, which I know you were saying you're gonna come in a little bit leaner than you did to go pro.
Me?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am. And the thing is too is like going into the show, the pro show, I would rather come in lean and then tell me just to fill out because I think it's always easier to fill out than it
Yeah.
is to lean down and starve myself and do cardio. So if
Hmm.
anything, I would rather come into the show a little bit leaner,
Yeah.
without having tie-ins. That's like the trick,
It
So
is.
come
But
in
I
a
think
little
it's
like a
easy. I think it's still pretty decently easy for us, like at where we're at with muscle and natural and all that,
yeah,
because like even when I did bikini, I didn't have crazy tie-ins. Like
I never
I
did.
actually showed up to Fit Model to get my pro card the same exact weight I was for bikini.
Really? Yeah. So with bikini, I actually was 108. With Fit Model, I was
Oh,
114. So that's why
wow.
I think for my pro debut, I'm going to go down to 108 again, with
Yeah,
that conditioning, the same conditioning I brought
I
for
think you'll look
bikini.
good.
Because
Yeah.
even then I had no tie-ins. So,
That's what I'm
and that was
saying. Like,
always my critique was you need bigger glutes and more, hamstrings. So that was always my feedback, is conditioning. And
yeah,
it's
mine
just,
was actually always just 5 pounds of muscle. They're like, you need 5 pounds to just pure muscle. I'm like, oh yeah, what? They're like, we like your shape. It's great. You just need
just,
more of it. I'm
you
like,
just need
yeah, they
more.
have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sideways poser here. Definitely going to work on that. Yes. Yeah. It makes a big difference for your physique. And then like, I know you talk a lot about your waist, doing waist training. And, I know there's like a lot of like people that say it doesn't work.
No, no,
There's,
okay, so let me talk about waist training for a
yeah,
minute.
that's why I
I
want to bring it
love
up.
it. I love it. So there's no scientific evidence that it makes your waist smaller. I think that's what
Mhm.
people are referring to, where it does nothing.
Yeah.
But to me, it helps more with breath control. Just like we're gonna have on stage, we're gonna have to control our stomach, control our breath. So I wear it when I'm training, usually lower body, because lats connect to your glutes, so you need, you can't really train up back and or I'll use it when I'm doing shoulders too,
Yep.
or cardio, because it helps keep my waist like just tighter and have that breath control. So I don't know if it's bringing down inches or not, but I know that it's helping me,
Yeah.
you know, with
And
that
stand tall.
intentional, yeah, and my posture. It's just more of a mental thing. And I truly believe I'm one of those people, as like a therapist,
Yeah.
what we tell ourselves is reality. So if we tell ourselves it's working, then we're going to believe it's working and it's going to show in our body. If we tell
Yeah.
ourselves it's useless, then it's not going to work. So like the power of our minds and what we say. So I truly believe it works, keeping my core tight, that breath control, and I see the results,
Yeah.
because I think it's like, the placebo. If you believe it, it's going to work.
Yeah, I
Does that make
agree.
sense?
I've been like, I've worn it, then I didn't wear it. I've worn it, didn't wear it. I'm wearing it again. I wore it this season, and then
Yeah.
this off season I'm wearing it. And between that and my consistency in this off season, my waist is like literally over an inch smaller this off season than it was last season.
Yes.
So I'm kind of like, well, like, why not? Like, who cares if it doesn't work? I mean, I don't wear it all day. Like, I didn't even wear it today, to be honest. Like, I was just
Yeah.
like, whatever. But I wear a belt when I train. and just to keep that tension in there. And honestly, I lift heavier when I have the waist trainer on for my hip thrust. Like I'll wear it for my hip thrust
Mm,
and I'm like, dang, okay. I did
yeah.
like 300 and whatever pounds the other day and I was like, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna just keep wearing
And,
this thing.
and the
They said
thing
what
is,
type. I know you have a code. I don't have a code for a waist trainer, but I know you do, right?
yes, I use Slimtum. And the only reason I use Slimtum is when I was doing my first ever show. I'm obsessed with Janet,
Oh
like
yeah.
Janet.
Yeah.
And she just won the Olympia. That's when I
Oh.
started my prep, and I was like, let me do everything she's doing. So I got her coach. I got the waist trainer, Slimtum. So I've been with them and I truly love it. They have three different types. I use the Arrow one too, the
Yeah,
Arrow
I've seen
2.
it. Yeah.
But I have all of them that I use, on and off. But
Yeah.
that's the reason I went with that company was
So
because of
funny.
her. And then now I saw like Issa was with them,
Yes.
Janet, yeah, Jennifer, Amy,
Well,
Delgado, Attila. So I was like, all
yeah.
right, these are all girls that I find beautiful,
Yeah.
and they have beautiful shapes. So I want to get their trainer. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, I don't blame you.
So,
I mean, I low key just use squeeze me skinny, but they're in Florida, so I get it in like a day. But
okay.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
attached to any
Slim
brand.
Tum's like in Australia too. So I think like it's pretty cool. It's I think worldwide. So I'm like, oh, awesome. But
Yeah, but like I don't,
yeah.
everyone's different. I think you have a super small waist, but it could be because of everything you're doing. Who knows? But like, it doesn't hurt to try. Like if you guys feel like your waist is a little thicker, do that and then do the vacuums. So really work on those deep core exercises, which I even did pregnant. I have my pregnancy pictures up there. But I did them
Really?
pregnant because like it's so important to, really work those muscles. I've gotten a little lazy in the off season. I don't do them every day. I really should, but I think that helps. Speaking of Janet, though, you think she's coming back for Fit Model? You think you're gonna be on stage with her?
I cross my fingers. I really like I will be just so happy being on the stage next to her because she's like the reason I went into bikini in the first place. Like beautiful, feminine, and I looked at her on stage and I was like, that confidence, like I want to do that. Like I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it better. That's what I told myself.
Well, I
So
look forward to it.
I
I
would
hope she does it in USA, like the
I would
debut.
love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think just being on stage with her would is like a dream come true, So I really hope she decides to do Fit Model. I do think though she has a very dominant upper body just because like that muscle maturity is there and I even think I feel like I watched a video where she was doing a lot of like rows or something like for her
Yeah.
cardio. That's how she did her cardio was so she has a really built upper body.
Yeah.
Um,
So you
so
think she's coming back?
I think she is. I think she'd
I
make a great fit model too, though.
Yeah, she's nice and like long. So I have this theory about Fit Model too, and I don't know if this is even a like how you are built, but like long muscle bellies versus short muscle bellies, I feel like Fit Model is great for.
Really? Okay. I
Yeah,
can see that definitely. Like
and she's
wellness
got
would
like
be more
longer
short.
muscle bellies. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
don't have like short like connection of anything. Everything's very like long, so like everything looks longer because I have like actually a lot of muscle. I just am very like I don't know, long.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
like Janet's like long, right?
She's long, yeah. No, I can definitely see that.
That's my
Yeah.
theory.
It's not a bad one. The
Yeah,
only place I don't have that long would be my glutes. So I have really short
I
glute
do too.
insertions, like
Yeah,
really, really short. And I'm
yeah.
kind of mad about that because I was like, oh, they were longer, they would seem bigger and.
But I've heard that if you actually have longer, then you actually have to work harder on the glutes to have that fullness because they're so long. They're like this, then you don't have that depth. So you actually have to build them even more.
I can see that. Definitely.
It tends to be a
Um,
cultural thing,
yeah. I'm
like your
Hispanic background.
nationality.
Yeah. What's your background?
So I have Native American, Portuguese. My mom's from England, some French,
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
wow.
What about you?
Do you speak French?
No, I speak no other language but English. And everyone thinks I speak Spanish, especially in
Really?
Florida. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to learn because Dan, he's my fiance's
Yeah.
French. So I'm trying to learn. But I've been on Duolingo for 2 years and just know, hi, how are you?
Wait, so what's your nationality again? Because I think you've talked about it.
Yeah, I'm just a huge like mutt. I'm a mix. So
Oh, okay.
Nicaraguan, Salvadorian, and
Oh,
Spaniard. So I'm just like a
okay.
big Spanish melting pot.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take pictures with like Spanish girls all the time, like Brazilian, and so everyone's like, "Oh, you definitely just blend right in." I'm like, "It must be the little bit of Portuguese."
It's a little bit, oh, those Brazilian genetics though, insane. I wish, they got some really
Right?
nice muscles. Yeah.
Especially their
So,
legs. So,
right?
what do you think about we'll wrap up soon. What do you think about the girls coming from the other countries doing fit model?
I love it. And I think too that's going to give more eyes on the
Mhm.
division, on the pro league. Um, I actually really like it. And I think it's going to give different, like, I don't know how to say it, like different shape, I guess, in a way.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, they look different.
no, yeah, they do look different. To me, they're a little bit more conditioned, I've noticed, I think,
You think so? I feel
especially in
like they just
Asia. Really?
Oh, Asia. Really?
I've noticed in Asia, these girls look really conditioned. I'm like, they look really good.
I feel like though I was like more on the more conditioned side though, so I guess that's where I'm kind of like really like
You
I feel
feel
like
like?
I was pretty decently conditioned. You know what I mean? Because I had to because my waist.
Yeah. How
I
much
don't
cardio
know.
were you doing, like towards the end?
Um, the maximum I did was 80 minutes a week on the bike, max. So 2 40-minute sessions, and then I cut down to 40 minutes. And then there was weeks I didn't do any to fill out and then added
Yeah,
a little bit back. So my maximum was 2 40-minute sessions, which really is not bad. But I've always gotten conditioned quickly. Like I've always done it in like 9 weeks, like for bikini.
really.
Yeah. Oh, look, someone's
Oh,
Nicaraguan.
Nicaraguan! Hi! Yay! It's so
Sassy.
hard for me to find people who are from Nicaragua, and I don't know
Oh,
anyone in Vegas from Nicaragua or that has my mix, the Salvadorian Nicaraguan mix. It's
so
it's very
funny.
rare.
Someone said she's surprised the conditioning has increased. Well, that's the thing. We unfortunately the sport does evolve. You got to just keep up with it and
That's why,
pay
like, do it
attention.
now. Like, people
Yeah.
who are sitting in the sidelines, don't wait. Do it now because the division's going to change and it's easier. Yes, I'm going to say easier to grow with it, to change with it, than it
Yes.
is like to wait 3 years and be like, wow, now I actually need to grow this and get
Hmm.
this. And, so just going with the division. Just like, I always say this, but men's physique, trying to do it now as opposed to when it first started, huge difference.
Woo!
So I truly think just doing it now, growing with it.
They're like this wide,
What?
wider.
The
I said
men's
men's
physique.
physique are like this wide.
And they got these little tiny ways. Like
Yeah.
shape plays a huge role with it and genetics for sure. So is there
Yeah, our
any other
posing's a lot like it.
it is. It is. Is there any other division you're excited for to watch during the Olympia?
Mostly bikini because I actually have like friends with a lot of the pros, so I'm really excited to watch them. I am excited about the change. I don't know how you feel about it. I mean, obviously it doesn't impact us right now, but I just feel like 75 girls is a lot. I went last year, it was a lot. Are you going? Because I know you're in Vegas.
Yes, yes, I'll be going. I'm
Awesome.
excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I love seeing these pros in person. I think it's so inspirational.
They are so
So
small in person, by the way, you guys. Like you take pictures and you're literally the same, and you're like, oh, but then they rip their clothes off, and because of the conditioning, they're like bigger looking. That's
oh
the
my
illusion.
goodness. So when I met Jane, I hope she's watching this. When I met her, we did a workout at Torch Gym and I saw her and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, oh my goodness, you're so tinier than what I thought. Like she's
yeah,
so tiny. And I was like, because when you see people on stage, you're like, they look big,
yeah,
because of the oil, the tan, the lighting, the pictures. And
yes.
she said the same thing about me. She's like, you're small. And I'm like, wow, we're small.
We're small. And while we're talking about this, before we like sign off, backstage, you guys, there is a huge difference between bikini and fit model. Like I cannot
Mhm.
express that enough. There is a tenfold difference. I mean, we literally look like we're at the pool compared to
Yeah.
the bikini girls. I was like, I
Yeah, their
forgot.
glutes insane.
Yeah.
Their conditioning, their shoulders popping,
Yeah.
huge difference. I remember I was backstage and I was looking at these girls who were bikini. I'm like, wow. I'm like not even near that
Yeah.
level. So I was like, okay, fit model for now.
Yeah, and that's the thing because like I said, I literally was the same as I was for bikini. So it just was tried and true. Like I am not bikini because like I looked like a little like I don't know, like basic next to
Yeah.
them. I was like, oh, there's a
Yeah.
big difference though. I know JM took a bunch of pictures of us at Universe with us side by side with like fit model versus bikini just to show like that difference of the muscle and the conditioning and the glutes and the shoulders. I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
big difference. The waistlines, though, y'all, it's still the
Yeah,
waist.
still need a tiny waist. Absolutely. I think just in any division that's gonna enhance
Yeah.
shape,
I mean,
you know.
look at
And
classic. Look at figure. I mean, you gotta still have that small waist to come out, and then wellness, of course,
yeah.
wellness. You know, all of them, and then even bodybuilding, you can go from first to second if your waist is blown out and the rest of you looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The waist is key. So yeah, I'm super excited about the pros next year, and I appreciate you coming on. I don't want to take too much of your
Thank
time,
you.
but we definitely need to do it again. And I know we've got some
Yes.
girls. I've had a lot of interest in this and getting on, and I'm obviously gonna. I have a list, and I think if we could just like kind of put a bunch of us on one, will be really fun too. You know,
I
do
think that
four
would
of
be
us.
awesome. Like doing a four of us and
Yes.
chit-chatting and bringing, more of that community in this fit model, because it's new and not a lot of people are doing it, still. So I
Yeah.
think,
Oh, let's see what Carol says real quick. Yes. Yeah. Carol said the conditioning was definitely more at the recent shows like Universe. Yeah. Cause Carol and I went pro at Universe. Um, Carol, can you write before we go? Carol, can you write your feedback? I think I asked her feedback. But Carol, if you want to write your feedback, we always like to hear feedback from other pros. But I do have Angie on Thursday, so we'll chat there too, and I'll see if she's doing the same show as you. No, just kidding.
I think she is. Yeah. Because I saw she posted something like Japan. I'm like, good. And I hope she does. I
I'm
really
actually
do.
here for the
Like,
rematch.
I'm here for it. And I'm here to see like how much I improved with my posing too.
Yeah,
Like I'm just excited to be a part of it. Like,
yeah,
and if she wins, she wins.
yeah,
It's not like competition, I think, between me and her, which is probably what they're gonna make it seem like. I
yeah,
think it's more like competition with how much we're improved in that
yeah,
last year and really how Fit Model's evolving from one year to the next.
yeah,
And I wouldn't be surprised if other pros want to do that one too. And I say the more the merrier, so we can really get a good idea of how the division's going to go the rest of the year.
yeah. I
So if you're a
agree.
pro, I want a lot of pros to do that show. I don't
Yes,
want like just five girls. I'm hoping a lot of pros do that show and
yes,
and just give a great idea of the direction it's going to go. Because if there's only three girls,
yeah.
it's
I
not going
think
to
you're
have a
gonna
good
get a
idea.
lot from the other countries at that show because they're closer. Carol said her feedback's to grow her glutes
Yes.
for
I
her
think
pro
that's the
debut.
majority of girls' feedback right now is just bigger glutes to make that pop. And shows are one from the back. I learned that. So, uh,
Yeah. And one last snippet, it was really good. I heard it on like a podcast, and I can't remember which one it was, but it's like in the pros, it's just a different. I don't know if you agree, but when you're trying to go for your pro card, you are a little bit more competitive and a little bit more comparison. Maybe not, but I was, and I was like, man, I guess I really want this. But now in the pro league, I'm kind of like, it's up to the judges at this point. I'm just gonna
yeah,
give it my all, and
yeah,
then we're just literally all just gonna be hanging out at that point because we're all gonna be at that like even playing field, right? I think because we're all I would say I know a lot of people say there's like been a big difference, but I really don't think there is. I still see a lot of similarities with everyone.
yeah.
We all have differences, but it's still a look. It is a look at the end of the day. I think Fit Model is a particular look, and I
Yeah.
just think it's a different look.
For sure. And there's some girls too that I want to see like on stage at the Olympia with me. So like I don't think at all I'm gonna fly out to Florida to do any shows because I definitely want a lot of, you, Jane, Liz,
Y'all,
Gabby.
good Florida is
Like I
rough out
want you
here.
four all up there, so I'm not gonna try to do every single show. Like that's not the plan at all. Like I'm not
Listen,
trying to
Florida,
like
Florida's a little deep. I'm a little nervous about it. We've got Vanessa. I think there's like 7 pros out of Florida. I'm like, wait a
yeah.
minute.
So my yeah, I'm like I don't want to mess in your guys' territory. I want you guys to get that, and you guys should just talk. Like I'll do this one, you do this one. You know.
Yeah, we should talk about it. Then we could all go to Olympia
Perfect.
together. Carol, yeah, so she was asking. Carol, she's actually gonna do Japan, which is like February
28th.
20th. Oh, she knows February 20th. And then Carol, I'm actually not gonna compete until like July. So oh, Misty, another pro's here. Hey girl. Misty. I wonder what Misty's feedback was. She's got a great shape, speaking of. Do you know Misty? She
Uh,
went pro at the one in June, junior junior nationals.
I feel like I do, but right
She
now
was
I'm drawing a
sweet.
blank. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. She's got like just I saw her on Instagram before she went pro and I knew she was going pro. Like literally 3 days before, like I've been calling them and some people have been like calling me like the fairy godmother. And I'm like, she's gonna
Yeah,
go pro. She's gonna
she's
go
gonna.
pro.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I do know Misty. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
great shape. Yeah,
Yes, the shape, y'all.
yes.
Like you can't beat that shape. She's just like this to this to this. I'm assuming it's glutes that she probably needs to come out a little bit, but all of this, like her waist is like
Tiny, and that's why like this off season I think waist training than I've ever done before because I'm trying to keep that
yes.
small little waist and grow everything. And so my waist is the smallest it's ever been during off season. I'm like, okay, I want to keep this
Yeah,
and go
I
because that's the
agree.
illusion, you know. So
I'm telling everybody that, and
absolutely.
that's why, like, if I'm asked to have like a bunch of junk food, I'm like, listen, I've got like limits on this stuff because I'm trying to
Yes.
eat as much regular food, but my waist blows out once I start eating way too much. Yes, I waist train 5 times a week. See, we're all waist trainers here. But
Yeah.
thank you. My feedback is muscle maturity. Ah, yeah, shapes though. Same with Carol. I know Carol's a younger competitor, and she's just got a beautiful shape, beautiful hair. I mean, I'm kind of obsessed about hair for fit model. I'm like,
That's
I hate
one
my
thing.
hair.
Yeah.
So the pro league, I'm gonna be coming all in with some hair. Y'all ain't ready.
The hair that I'm gonna bring, and I think hair can really, you know, create I don't know how to say this, but give that illusion of smaller muscle or bigger muscle. For instance, if it's straight, you're going to look harder with more muscles.
Guess who's going
But
straight, girl?
if it's nice and curly and big,
Yeah.
your hair, your muscle will look, tinier. You know what I mean? Like, I think your hair can really, the
Yes.
overall package
Yeah.
determine. So
I
I think for the first Japan show, I just want to try it out. I'm going to do the whole Etala crazy
Oh
hair, you know.
wow.
That's something like this is my natural hair, nice and
Yeah.
curly. So I just want to emphasize the curls and go
Yes.
big head and just to see how I look and play
Yeah.
around with that. Cause I think that too is going to allow someone to maybe get away with a little bit more muscle, especially if I'm more
Yes.
conditioned,
Yeah.
and just allow a little bit more. So we'll see, but I definitely going to do that. Wow.
I
And
like
that's
it. I
something
could
I
see
wish
that
I
for you. I
tried.
really like your hair curly. I personally am gonna go straight because I've been doing more straight and I've been like comparing pictures and like when I
Yeah.
do trophies, I'm like, ugh, I hate my hair curly there. I'm like, I don't like it anymore. And like we just go through phases and now I'm like, okay, I need it full straight because I've been checking in with a straight and I'm like, I think I look better. Like,
Really, for me, straight, I just look too flat. I was like, oh, I don't
I
like
looked a
how
little more
flat it
jacked with
looked.
it. I don't know. I looked a little bit more jacked, so I think I'm gonna just do that. It gave me a better taper in the back too for some reason. So I think I'm gonna put
It gave
extensions
me a
in.
better taper in the back too. Like when
See?
I straightened my hair, it was the best back pose I had. It was for Fresno. I was
Yes.
like, my glutes looked insane. Like looked so
See?
good.
See, thank you, Carol. And one more thing, and then I'm gonna hang up here. Someone said the waist trainer I wear it only for my workouts and cardio. So Emily wears it variable, based upon the workouts. We had talked about that. Same with me. I wear it for steps mostly in the morning, like when I, get started for the day and for my workout, and then I'll take it off mid-workout, and then I'll put my belt on. So it depends on my exercises, especially if I'm training abs. I'll just take my waist trainer off because I kind of work abs in like midway and like I'm kind of like supersetting abs in. Um, and I do vacuums in the morning fasted. Now I'm really going to do them tomorrow, but I try to do them every day. Now I feel like, okay, I think I'm going to do it tomorrow morning.
I waist train almost every day, I want to say, but it's especially on those days where I feel bloated. Like it just
Oh
makes
yeah,
me feel snatched. I'm like, okay,
100%.
it helps, just make me feel better. And like I said, our mental like thoughts, our
Yeah,
thoughts we say, I feel like we speak it into existence.
yeah,
So if I wear it and I'm like, okay, I look good, I have shape,
yes,
then our body follows what we say. So I
yeah.
wear it when I'm not feeling good so I can feel good.
I actually just don't wear it during my period because I feel like a little too bloated, and then I feel like right now, like in my off season, right? I just feel like
Yeah.
it's just too much
Yes.
pressure. So I'm just like 3 days off, you
Yes,
know?
Kat, the Slimtum Pro, and that's a good one too to help with posture because that one has actually like a back brace.
Oh
So
wow,
instead of switching to a like the belt that you said and then waist
yeah.
training, the Pro actually has a belt in it already, so you don't need a switch and it just keeps it nice and tight.
Oh, good
So
to know.
yeah, if you ever want just a trainer that has the belt and you don't have to keep switching them, the Pro is the one to get. I'm
Yeah,
comfortable,
I'll wait till
super
Black
comfortable.
Friday. Black Friday's right
Yes.
around the corner, you know? Like,
I know. I'm saving everything for Black Friday. My
yeah,
plane tickets, the Airbnb, hopefully. Anything from
yes.
Japan, essentials, and
Yeah.
so
I gotta get some new shoes too. My posing shoes are worn out. Need some new
nice.
shoes, you know? Like, listen, I'm starting now. And if there's some hair extensions on sale, I'm gonna be buying those.
Yeah. Just have the cart for Fit Model Pro
Yes.
2026, like get
Yes.
things in ready.
Gonna
Yeah.
start
No,
now.
absolutely.
Well,
Especially, yeah, with like competing too, I think people think, oh, as a pro, you don't have to pay per entry, which is nice, but we still have, the year membership fee, traveling expenses, like, it still adds up, definitely. So it's not
yeah.
a cheap hobby or a sport, it's
Yeah, because I am doing
definitely,
Florida, but I am going to go to a couple other states. I've got some eyes on some things, and so that's going to cost a little bit more money. I mean, I am very fortunate. I have multiple shows in Florida, though. Florida is really hot for
yes,
IFBB shows, and we'll see
it
which ones
is.
we get to see the announcement of which ones they're going to have it at, though. You know, we don't even know which shows are going to have Fit Model that are our pro shows because it varies, right? Varies, I'm assuming they're going to have a lot that have bikini already, but maybe they won't. Maybe they'll have some completely different shows. We just don't know until December, January, and
I
I'm
think we'll
excited
find
for
out
it.
like late October. I think we'll find out like
Oh, I
after
hope so.
Olympia. I hope so too, because they want to start promoting. I
Yeah.
think so. I think after October we'll find out. Maybe it won't be Japan. I mean, that's the word on the block, but maybe it's something in December in like France. Who knows?
Yeah, none of us
But
really know. Not none of us know. The only people that know are the head office. And thank you so much for your sweet comments, everyone. I've been reading a lot of people are just inspired by the fit model journey.
yes,
And thanks you
thank you
guys for tuning
too.
in. And we'll definitely have more. And then like I said, I want to get a bunch of us on here at once. I think it would be really cool, just kind of like literally I just keep saying shoot the shit like just chit chat because that's all it's just kind of fun to just chat. Oh no, she's
And
just
just to see too, like even maybe later, like how our off seasons are going, things we're
yes.
struggling with, and stuff like that, like having a good
Yeah, we'll
support
definitely
community.
reconnect. This was great, Emily. I really liked it. It was fun, and I wish I was going on to the Olympia this year. We do have season tickets, I want to say, but we put them on holds. I spent a lot of money this prep. I mean, I know
With
you
that, yeah.
understand, but I was like, listen, we need to stop spending some money. So we are not going to the Olympia this year. I'll be watching, and I will be watching amateur to see who goes pro. There's going to be 3 new pros, you guys, and I have some friends doing it. So
Me too.
I blocked
I'll
my
be
calendar
there.
for Tuesday.
I'll
I'm
be
like, no,
watching.
yeah.
Yes, and if anyone's gonna be in Vegas, let's reach out. I'll be at the expos. I'll be working, so I'll be there at the new tech booth. You guys can find me.
Fun. I
So.
love working booths, girl. And just another shout out, like I know you are very active in the community as well as like a lot of people say I am as well. I'm really always putting
Yeah.
myself out there. And if you guys are listening and you're really trying to move up in the industry, you got to put the time and effort in. Like, if you want to work with these brands, you want to be out there, you've got to just do it.
And the thing is too, it doesn't hurt to ask. Like,
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, how do I do it?" Just reach out, message
Yeah.
them, like ask. That's what I've been doing,
Yeah.
It's just asking. The worst they can say is not right now, but at least you're going to be implanted in their mind. You know what I mean? Like as, oh, someone we can reach out to in the future and another opportunity. So
Yeah,
Just
and
ask.
the more you put yourself out there, then you will get asked because like I get asked most of the time for all of the things and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you guys. Like I just get asked. But I
Yeah.
think if I because I put myself out there so much, then
Mm.
they know who I am, right? So like the more you show up, the more they're gonna be like, oh wow, this girl's committed. Like I want her to work for me and to do these things, to run these booths, to represent our brand. So if you guys are all like, looking to build that, you got to just put the effort in. You got to show interest. You got to be inspirational. You got to be
That's
like an
hard for me.
energy.
Like it's so hard for me to be Instagram content like
Oh, you
you
did
every day
amazing.
posting it. Like it's hard. Like for me, it's just the coolest thing I do. I think is work out. So I just post like a
I
lot
think
of
you're
training
perfect.
videos and working out videos. But to me, like Instagram's a business, and it's really hard for
It
me. So
is.
that's why I started YouTubing because I show
I
more
like your YouTube.
personality.
Yeah.
Thank you. But to me, it's hard to show personality on Instagram. And I'm like a hoot, I'm a
Yeah.
huge personality. And it's
Yeah.
hard to show that for me on IG. I haven't got it yet. It hasn't clicked for me. But YouTube's easier because it's vlogging. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you
I
get
love your
more of that
YouTube.
insight. Thank you. But
I'm
yeah,
like
I
so
love
bad
what
because
you're doing.
YouTube, I have a YouTube and I have like 1,200 followers or whatever. And I'm like, I promise I'm coming on YouTube again. And I'm like, still haven't put a new video up again. But like, I put so much time into Instagram and I put so much
You
time
do. And I
into
think, like, yeah,
Facebook.
you really do. And I admire that about you. I'm like, wow, she's always posting great stuff, great
So
content
maybe
about the
it's my,
development
maybe this
division.
is mine, and YouTube is yours, right? So like, we
I'm
just have
trying
our
with
space.
YouTube. I have like not much, but it's like it's the people who watch that matters. So it's not about the
I watch it. I'm
quality.
like, you go, girl.
Yeah, I'm trying with YouTube. And it's like it's funny because it's basically me talking to myself and having these narratives, but I'm like, that's basically my life. I talk to myself all the time. So it's just
Yeah,
inviting
girl.
people in.
I think it's great. And I liked your little workout with Stan, like with the back workout. You're like, is this all we're doing? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was totally watching it. You're like
Yeah.
high row, and then he had you doing pullovers, and I'm like, oh my God, I'd be like dead.
Yeah, Stan's intense, but
He's
he
like, oh.
honestly, I think, and something about us too is we both have partners in this
Yes.
sport. And
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of other people might. I know Liz does, and I think that also is a great way to keep each other,
Yeah, it
on
is a
track.
little bit like we're a little too intense, I think, sometimes because we are so regimented and we're like, how do we calm down? But we are very regimented, so I agree. Like, I'm sure Liz is definitely in that spot with an Olympian,
Mhm.
right? And like, I mean, I know Stan's Olympian, but like this guy's doing Olympia this year because Stan's not, right?
Not this year,
Not
hopefully
this
next
year.
year, but he didn't compete this year. Yeah. So
Right.
he's actually
Right.
going back down to classic. So
Oh,
we'll
nice.
see. Yeah. But
But
yeah,
like, it is more intense because like
yeah,
every,
because he's gun ho right now on prep, and I'm sure she's like making his
yeah,
meal and might as well, make my meals too, and it just
yes,
helps, with that relationship.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
noticed. Yeah.
and men. Their preps. Their preps are like, I tell Justin all the time, like, yours is like 10 times harder than mine. Probably more than 10 times, but at least 10 times harder than my fit model prep.
Yeah. It's a whole other monster, so
Oh, like, I can't with all that. Like, I'll just stick with my, maximum 80-minute cardio per week.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I've noticed that too. I'm like, oh yeah, your husband competes, and it's
Yeah,
probably like at home very bodybuilding oriented. And
yeah.
every morning I come downstairs, like Stan's watching like Bro Chat or like
Oh, yeah,
Full
my
Color
husband, same thing.
TV, and
Yeah,
keeps me
yeah,
involved with what's happening bodybuilding.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and he's on like meal 7 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many meals are you
Yeah.
eating? And he's like,
Yeah.
I've got my fish. And I'm like, bro,
It's so
I
funny.
love it. Well, thanks, Emily. Obviously, we could talk all day, but everyone's probably like, okay.
Yeah.
But I will say that like people can fly through it maybe. But it was so nice chatting with you. We'll definitely do it again and catch
Yes.
back up and see how off season's going because you'll be like finishing yours out, and starting prep
I know. I know. It's exciting
right around the
stuff.
holidays.
Yes. All right, girl. Well, thank you so much. I love this. Let's do
This
it
is so fun.
again.
Yes,
I'm
it'll be
here.
fun. All
All
right,
right.
guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.